I've been meaning to make a video ranking Susumu's top 10 albums. In preparation to this video, I've spent a lot of time re-listening to all of Susumu's albums, and there's a lot of them. A lot of thought was also put into this list, and I hope you all enjoy it. The Secret of the Flower of Phenomenon released in 2013, and it's Susumu's 12th studio album. Setting itself apart from previous albums, electronic sounds are toned down significantly in favor of strings and other classical instruments. The entire album has a unique classical and orchestra feeling. The first song is called The Secret of Flowers of Phenomenon, and has plenty of classical instruments and a warm, happy vibe to it. It is faster paced to a marching beat. The next song is titled Ghost Ship. This song has a serious tone to it, and its classical instruments will make you believe you are listening to an award-winning period piece movie soundtrack. Next is the song The Shadow of Bloom, another serious classical period piece sound with unconventional Susumu thrown into the mix. Next is one of the best songs on the album titled Brain-Centric Theory. This is a much happier and faster uplifting sound with fast-paced classical string-based instruments playing in Broadway-scale orchestra. Next is the song Zalerno the Thief, a serious, more melodramatic song with a mysterious tone to it, and Susumu's passionate voice thrown in for good use. Slower paced before hitting you hard with a strong chorus that makes the whole song worth it. Next is the song The Visitor, which has a surprisingly no techno or electronic sounds in favor of pure classical instruments and some harps and beautifully melodies thrown into otherwise serious tones. Next is the song Astro Phase 7, a fast-paced and darker toned song with a faster singing Susumu. Next is the much happier and catchy song titled Amputee Gerbera-E. I think I'm saying that right. This is my other favorite song on this album. An amazing orchestra of classical instruments, and not to mention the great Susumu chorus part. Next is the song Horde of Thistledown, dark, serious yet epic, another song to play for a large-scale battle sequence. The next song is Circular G, a wacky yet uplifting, joyful, colorful sound to a marching drum. The next song is called The Flowers of Phenomenon E, and it's a remix to the first song on the album, only difference being an annoying beeping noise. I definitely prefer the original. The last song is titled Amputee Gerbera-E, a remix of the original on the same album. The difference just being more electronic sounds in the background. Blue Limbo. Blue Limbo released in 2003 and it's Susumu's 9th solo album. Blue Limbo is full of Susumu's signature opera-like vocals that never get old. The first song is titled Grandfatherly Wind and has plenty of orchestral and opera sounds that we all came to love from Susumu. The song is fast-paced and triumphant. Next is the song Ride the Blue Limbo. This song is triumphant and uplifting, like the song before it. The song has a lot of fine details and intricacies, and the song comes together nicely, even though there's a lot going on in it. Next is the much quieter, gentler, and calmer song titled The Silent Gate of tsiolkovsky Crater. The song is just as mysterious sounding as the title, and Susumu's voice flows smoother than water. Next is Cambodian Limbo, an all-time favorite of mine, and the best song on the album. I'll always remember my friend when I hear this song, remembering my friend suffering and listening to this in great times of need, and being held by Susumu's empathy and passion. There is so much passion in this song, and I picture dark clouds overhead, yet continuing to fight on even though the battle seems unwinnable. It almost sounds like Susumu's voice is howling in grief. And the song itself is very indescribable. This song truly is a masterpiece. After the deep and sad Cambodian Limbo, we are lifted up by the very cheerful and loving sounds of the song Hanson 108, or Sailing Ship 108 in English. There's a lot of electronic sounds here, and it's a great example of mixing P-model techno-catchy with signature Susumu. Sailing Ship 108 is one of those songs that never get old and you could just keep listening to. Next is the song The Sniper. This song is an example of how different each one of Susumu's songs are. An awesome guitar sound that gives this song a badass feel, like it's about some sniper. Serious tone yet empowering, and lots of electronic sounds in the background. Next is the song Limbo 54. Lots of powerful opera vocals, like most of the album, and a heavenly chime to it. It's dreamlike and gives you the feeling of rising up to heaven with clouds and peaceful imagery. Next is the song Halo. And just like the name, there's a very heavenly with harp sounds and angelic vocals. The sound is very serious and sad with emotion. Next we have the song High-Minded Castle. The song is fast-paced and reminds me of Berserk, and the song courses. Very triumphant and gives me imagery of fighting in a holy battle. Susumu really nails medieval fantasy-sounding songs, and I believe Berserk and other anime must have been dreamed up while listening to Susumu's music. Last on the album is Sathwan Calendar 8869, a calm farewell song to an awesome album. This song is slow, gentle, and calm. It embraces you and wants to heal your pain. The song flows like water. Scuba released September 25th in 1984. It is P-Model's 6th album. It is different from other P-Model albums in that it was made almost entirely by the guitarist Susumu Hirasawa. The album was released in cassette book format. The album was packaged with an 84-page booklet that contained techniques to induce rapid eye movement, sleep, and hypnosis. This album is my favorite P-Model album, and the beginning of Susumu's trademark sound. There's just too many great and catchy songs on this album to not include it on this list. The album begins with my favorite P-Model song titled Frozen Beach. I absolutely love this song, and it's an example of Susumu's magic. Most artists will release a song like this, then nothing else for the rest of their career. But obviously that's not the case with Susumu. Frozen Beach begins with the sound of crashing waves and an indescribable, almost siren-like electronic sound. This is the kind of song you drift off to into the Susumu-verse. Next is a loopy, almost cheesy sounding song titled Boat. I love this song, and it's a great example of strange but catchy sound P-Model is capable of. Extremely happy sounding, almost clown-like. This is a song you play imagining not having a care in the world. Lots of great sampling, and all kinds of unconventional sounds thrown in here. Next is the song Seven Joint Man. Very unconventional, very weird, very good. This is another favorite of mine on this album, though I'll have to admit that I love pretty much every song on this album. This song also has a very catchy sound that claps and flows very nicely. Next is a more serious song, Ohayo II. Lots of great drums and bass, sprinkled with an electronic, almost flute-like sound, with some metal jingling in the background. This song is also very hopeful sounding and uplifting. Next is the song Looping Opposition. Dark, mysterious, imaginative, creative, catchy. I love this song and its darker tones. It was a great study song and also for when my mind was in a darker state. Next is the song REM Sleep. It's definitely very unconventional. It doesn't make much sense. Not as catchy as the rest of the songs on this album, however. Next is my other favorite song titled Fish Song. Very catchy, and has that hopeful sound of Susumu is known for. This song is a cross between catchy P-Model and signature Susumu, and that's why I love it so much. The last song on the album is titled Scuba. and it's not much of a song, but more of a short epilogue of electronic sounds. The Man Climbing the Hologram, released November 18th, 2015, and is Susumu's 13th solo album. When this album first came out, I was worried that Susumu would stay away from his signature sound in favor of a much newer sound. What we ended up getting was a perfect mix of signature Susumu with a newer sound, and it's an incredible album from beginning to end, and proof that Susumu's music is ever growing. The album mixes sound arrangements of his recent Kaku model buzzsaw synths and the usual vocal samples. The album begins with the song Adios, a fast-paced, empowering, triumphant, booming sound, filled with synths and trademark Susumu vocals. It bounces from fast-paced to slow and heartfelt back to fast-paced. This is such a great opening song to an amazing album. The next song is titled Avatar Alone, a much darker and serious tone than the opening song, filled with synths and electronics. And I just love the vocals in the second half of the song, with booming bass. Next is the song titled Time Being Proud of Its Heterogeneity. This odd titled song is a mix of expert mountain Susumu with his new synth instruments. I love this song and it works very well. It has that peaceful, emotional sound. I also love the ticking clock sounds. I picture time going by, but Susumu's music being unaffected by it. Next is the song Muramasa. This is a powerful, heartfelt song filled to the brim with orchestral sounds and a thundering beat. Next is a song titled YCY, an almost James Bond sounding song, very different, filled with stringed instruments and buzzsaw synths to a booming bass. Next is the song Circuit On, Circuit Off, a fast-paced song filled with electronic clicks and a bit loopy. Lots of unconventional sounds and vocals by Susumu and an impressive chorus part. Next is my favorite song on the album titled Qualia Tower, a majestic and beautiful, peaceful, empowering, and hope-inspiring song. Similar sounding to an expert mountain, and has that long journey epic feel to it. This song is such a masterpiece, and I really hope Susumu never abandons this sound. Next is the song Sally on Fire. It begins with a beautiful guitar piece followed by Susumu singing softly, becoming faster paced into a strange but catchy rhythm that's uplifting and hopeful sounding, and it works very well. Next is the song The Man Climbing the Hologram. The song begins with powerful orchestral sound, with electronic mixed in for good measure, then becomes a triumphant and empowering yet mysterious sound, similar to Berserk soundtrack. I also picture the song playing during a long, tough journey, perhaps the journey of life. It really makes you amazed at how one man is capable of such an orchestra by himself. Such a great song. Next is a song titled Iron Cutting Song. This song is very happy and catchy, and one of the best songs on the album. The chorus part is so brilliant and uplifting it is sure to invoke shivers. The album ends with a remix of the masterpiece Qualia Tower, except it's titled Qualia Tower HGG version. There isn't much difference between this version and the original, besides some electronic guitar in it. Anyway, it's such a great song it deserves to be on the album twice. Byakuya, which means White Tiger Field in English, released February 2nd, 2006, and is Susumu's 10th solo album. This album is where you'll find a very famous song titled Parade, which is from Satoshi Kon's landmark anime, Paprika. While I agree that Parade is an excellent song, I just wish it didn't overshadow the rest of Susumu's work. Anyway, the whole record is great, with Hirasawa's best use of vocal samples yet. This whole album is definitely a different sound and has a very grand orchestrated sound to it. The album starts with a very powerful song titled Westward of Time. Then it goes to the joyful, faster paced song Byakuya or White Tiger Field, Then to the much darker and serious and slower toned Stillborn City. After that is the warm and joyful The Man from Memories. The Man from Memories is full of creative vocal samples that range from tribal chants to opera inspired. It's very grand sounding. Next is my favorite song on the album, titled Water Vein. I'll admit that I'm a sucker for slower paced, heartfelt Susumu. This song flows like water and has an enchanting sound to it, with Susumu's voice also flowing like water. Next we have the more techno and fun sounding Code Costa Rica, with all the amazing Susumu vocals you've come to expect and love. Next is the grand, triumphant, and thundering song Fern of the Planet Stigma. Next is the song Probability Hill, which is faster paced yet gentler. After that is the song Boya Koya. This is a slower, beautiful song giving us time to relax from the grand and faster sounding songs before it. Last on the album, and definitely not least, is a very famous song titled Parade, which is featured in the movie Paprika. This is perhaps Susumu's most famous song. Triumphant, faster paced, and grand like most of the album. Definitely has that signature Susumu sound to it. The song can be described as a parade honoring music itself. Siren released in 1996 and is Susumu's 6th solo album. This album is sandwiched between two other masterpieces, Aurora and SimCity. Siren tends to get overlooked by many, including myself. In fact, I only listened to this properly when preparing for this video. And I'm glad I re-listened to it because it's such a great album filled with my favorite type of Susumu songs, the ones that are slower paced and heartfelt. The album opens with the song Electronic Light Bathing. This slower, peaceful, and definitely heartfelt song is beautiful, and definitely one that you'll play as a love song. Ooh, oh la la. It almost has a Ghost Bridges feel to it. The next song begins with a siren and it's titled, well, you guessed it, Siren. I absolutely love this song. It's loving, sad, peaceful, and beautiful. This is the kind of song you listen to when you were down, and it's sure to heal you. Next is the song Online Malaysia. It opens with an opera vocal samples and Susumu's voice that just takes the song to another level. Faster paced, way ahead of its time, and definitely creative. Next is the song titled Siren, and I think I like this version better. It's more uplifting and hopeful and empowering. It has a thundering beat and bagpipes too. The bagpipes are used also in a genius way. Next is another classic titled Nurse Cafe. This song has a similar sound to Nawashi King, and I just love this song. It's fast, hopeful, empowering, emotional, unconventional, and, well, weird. But it definitely all works. Next is the space-inspired song Gemini. This song is definitely out of this world, and oh so beautiful and pleasant. Slow and soulful, filled with Susumu's signature sound. Definitely one of my favorites. Whatever he is singing about in this song is definitely important and deep, and you can really feel that. Next is the song Day Scanner, which is a techno-heavy and a much faster-paced song with Susumu's voice reaching high notes, some electric guitars to throw into the mix. Not my favorite, but it's still great. Next is my other favorite song titled Siam Lights. The song is very powerful, and it's just a perfect slower paced Susumu, full of emotion and soul. Beautiful and catchy, full of wonder and enchantment. Otherworldly. Check, 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 and check. This is what Susumu is best at, and he really captures our emotions with the song. I remember a friend of mine playing this at the pool, and just relaxing to this song by the poolside was just perfect. The last song on this album is the Genius Mermaid song. As if Siam Lights and Gemini and Siren weren't enough, we get this bad boy too. Like Siam Lights, it's everything I love about signature, slow-paced, and peaceful Susumu. Aora. Aora released February 25th, 1994 and is Susumu's 4th studio album. This is the turning point in his career. Unlike the previous solo albums, Aora doesn't feature guest musicians, with almost all instrumentation handled by MIDI-compatible devices. The music was composed with the Amiga computer. Aora is a great album and is evidence of Susumu coming closer to perfecting his style. This album, I realized, is basically full of love songs, and I mean that in a good way. The album begins with the beautiful and calming song Stone Garden. This song really transports and eases your burden. Next is Love Song, which is just as the name implies. This is romantic and full of love, a lullaby of emotions. After that is Aora, which sounds a lot like the song Forces, with that riveting and booming instruments in the background. This song gets you up and moving, no matter what is beating you down. Next is Chikoranita. The song has an almost Native American vibe to it, and is similar to the song Love Song, which is full of compassion and power. Next is the song Take the Wheel, a song that became remixed into the anime Berserk and will later be known as Forces. This song is a raging battle and a war cry with thundering beats and Susumu's strong voice in a power-hungry chorus. After the adrenaline rush of Take the Wheel, the following song is the opposite. It's titled Snowblind, a song full of peace and harmony with the lightness of a powdery snow. Next is the uplifting and unconventional yet catchy sound of Double the Wind. This song is more evidence of how Susumu's songs don't all sound the same. This song is grand and beautiful, the reason why it's so hard to have a favorite Susumu song. Next is In the Square, and forgive me if I've overused beautiful at this point, but this song is simply beautiful. It's songs like this that make me realize you'd have to be evil not to like this kind of music. Next is the masterpiece Island Door. This song is absolutely brilliant and spellbinding. This song is one of the best, if not the best. It begins full of sorrow and flows masterfully before slowly building up to something hopeful, yet retains that sorrowful sound. Susumu must have really been singing about something powerful and passionate. This song is completely otherworldly. The last song on the album is Ringing Bell, and it's almost alien sounding and definitely otherworldly. Susumu's voice is so dreamlike in this song. I picture dying and flowing upwards to heaven. Philosopher's Propeller. Philosopher's Propeller released October 5th, 2000. It is the 8th solo album by Susumu Hirasawa, and the first to be completely self-released. The album was inspired by alchemy, and several songs come from Latin terms pertaining to magnum opus. This is one of my favorite Susumu albums and was almost the top spot. The album starts with the song Philosopher's Propellers, which is a dreamy, powerful, uplifting, and joyful song with steady thundering beats in the background, plus Susumu's musical voice creating most of the sound. Next is the heavenly sounding song Remeda. It has an almost child sounding chorus, catchy with thundering beats. Susumu's voice is like flowing water gently moving down a cool stream of bright green grass and shiny stones. This is the song you hear as you enter heaven. The name Remedo is Latin for the word redness. Alchemists adopted the term to refer to the fourth and final major stage of the magnum opus. Next is the song Negredo. It has a quiet snow-like feeling with love in the air. There's an almost jazzy feel followed by signature Susumu instruments. It's creative and all over the place. It somehow works beautifully. Only a genius could create something like this. Next is the fun and almost goofy sounding Albedo. Albedo works as an intermission because it's so short. After that is the song Quadrature des Cercles. Weird name, but it has Susumu all over it. This is a change in tone to a much more serious and almost creepy howling noise, with dreamlike sounds in the background. After that is the song Garden Where the Solutions Are Found. It's a warm spiritual sound that is hopeful. It's a song that makes you envision nature and how beautiful and full of wonder it is. After that is another one of my favorites. The title is An Expert Mountain. This song makes me sigh and thank Susumu every time I hear it. This song feels like the start of a journey, perhaps up a big mountain that not many people have completed. This song is very empowering and huge in scope. Next is Opus, an electronic keyboard sounding song with a hopeful and joyful, colorful, dreamlike sound. No words in the song, just a high-pitched voice, and it works very well. Next is the epic song Rotation. I pictured knights in medieval large-scale battles with this. It could work very well in the anime Berserk. It also has a very hopeful singing from Susumu filled with electronic chimes in the background. And the last song on the album is titled Philosopher's Propeller 2. It's peaceful and slower, filled with Susumu singing from his heart. Sim City. Sim City released in 1995 and is Susumu's 5th solo album. This is a very important album because from this point going forward, we hear inspiration from Susumu's visit to Thailand. Thailand blessed Susumu with his signature, undescribable sound. SimCity has plenty of sunny and uplifting otherworldly songs that are full of euphoria and they're all beautiful. Starting with its relaxing opening Recall, to the fast-paced and serious Arch-type engine, to the hopeful and empowering Lotus, to my favorite song, Kingdom, which is sunny, colorful, otherworldly, and catchy. Next is another one of my favorites on the album. It's titled Echoes, which reminds me of the song Gatsu, and it might even be better than that. The song is beautiful and tear-jerking. It will make the biggest failure in life feel like a winner. It is music like this that truly help us get through the worst in life. Next is the song Sim City, named after the album. This song is darker and has a techno sound in the background, mixed with Susumu's Thai sound, and it all works very well. It's a more serious song. Next is another masterpiece, making sure to place his album at number 2. Another favorite of mine. I love this song. It's beautiful, epic, serious, melancholic, but hopeful. This song understands the pain you went through in life. This is a song that plays when you go through a long and triumphant journey that is coming to an end. Next is the song Pacific Rim, and it has a much different sound to it. It's almost foreign, like you've entered a different country, with a thundering beat in the background. Next is the song Colony, which opens with bagpipes. This song reminds me of the song Earth from the Berserk soundtrack. This song is like a sunrise on the path of victory. Next is the song Caravan, another song that opens with bagpipes. This is just an all-around joyful sounding album, mixing bagpipes with happy feeling Susumu lyrics and sound. For some reason, the last song on the album is titled Prologue. Prologue is a beautiful song with Buddhist monk hums in the background with Susumu's uplifting voice echoing up. It's a happy, bright, and warm song. Technique of Relief. Technique of Relief released in 1998, before Philosopher's Propeller, and after Siren. It was Susumu's 7th solo album. And 7 truly is a perfect number, because this album is perfect from beginning to end. Technique of Relief is the one, the absolute peak, the towering achievement, Hirasawa's greatest masterpiece. Technique of Relief is such a massive achievement in music, and it is flawless from beginning to end. When every song on an album is great, and most of your favorite songs are on a single album, then you know it's a masterpiece. While I love almost every Susumu album, I still have no problem saying that Technique of Relief is his best album. And if anyone is new to Susumu, this is the best album to start with. Technique of Relief was from the beginning a concept album for an interactive live show. It builds upon a broad restoration of a perfect character, and the theme was first introduced in Scuba. While that album was about bringing scattered individuals back together into a group, Technique of Relief has the thoughts and experiences of many people combining into a neural network and becoming a single entity. The concept of green nerve, which Hirasawa had played with his previous works, appears here as the character of a perfected human. The plot begins as the world's cells break down, causes the green nerve network to cease functioning, and the bridge builder, who is Susumu Hirasawa, has to repair it. So the album starts with the song Tano Phase, which is a very uplifting, fast-paced techno with layers of signature Susumu thrown into the mix. Next we have the song Mood Time. Mood Time is a masterpiece. It's a beautiful orchestra of emotions, and it's perfect in everything that it does. It's slow-paced and powerful, and I love it. Next we have one of my favorites, if not my favorite song of all time, titled Nawashi King, or Gardener King in English. The song is powerful, emotional, creative, and serious. The kind of song that brings tears to your eyes and just makes you feel awesome. Next we have another masterpiece. It's titled Ghost Bridges. And let's just get this out of the way. All of these songs on this album are masterpieces. Ghost Bridges is slower, sadder, and more emotional. Save this song from when you are feeling down, and it might just speak to you. This is another song that perfectly captures the character Guts from Berserk, and more evidence of that artist being influenced by Susumu Hirasawa. Next we have the song The Man from Narcissus, a catchy and spiritual sounding song, with Susumu showing us the range of his incredible voice. Next we have the song Strange Night of Omnificence. This song is mysterious, very powerful, showcasing Susumu's heavenly voice. The The song is purely otherworldly. Next we have the song Mother. This song amazes me every time I listen to it, because there is so much going on, with an incredible orchestra of many instruments playing at the same time, yet it works perfectly and it is very catchy. And that powerful chorus part that gets me every time and is reminiscent of the song Forces. Next is the song Bridge Builder, another beautiful song that will never get old no matter how many times you listen to it. This song is so full of heart and soul, you can feel it just from Susumu's voice. Next is the song Technique of Belief, named after the album. This is a thundering, empowering, and such a triumphant chorus. This song could also be used in the Berserk soundtrack, even though I keep saying that, but it could be used in that. It has the Knights and Kingdom feel to it, and I just love it. And last, but not least, the album ends with the song World Sail. World Sail feels like a farewell that has hope that we might meet again. Susumu, you have reached our hearts with this album. And any song on this album can melt the hardest of hearts. Thank you, Susumu Hirasawa. You truly are the musical genius of this century. Well, I hope you all enjoyed my list. I did put a lot of work and thought into this. I had a great time revisiting every album. Even though these are my top 10 favorite Susumu albums, doesn't mean his others aren't great too. Susumu never put out a bad album in his very long career, and that's not easy. If you disagree with this list, then please leave a list of your own in the comments. Everyone, after all, has different ears and different tastes. Anyway, thanks for listening.